This thing is definitely not running on 3 cylinders. This right here is a 99 Yamaha Vmax 700 triple, and it needs some work. Customer's machine, he brought it here because he just bought it, wasn't running right. He actually ended up throwing a brand new track on it, so it's got a brand new track. It doesn't have many miles for a 700 triple. It's got 3,300 miles on it. If we open her up, at minimum, so far the customer said he changed out carburetors, coils, CDI box, all kinds of stuff. Now, I thought this might have been a quick project, so I did start on it. I worked on it a little while ago, did a video on it, and what I noticed was it wasn't running that good. If you choke it, it ran better, so it wasn't getting enough fuel, right? Went ahead, took the carburetors apart, cleaned them, put them back in there. Didn't make too much of a difference, maybe a little bit difference. Over here, I actually have a Yamaha Vmax 700 triple myself, and this thing ran really good. So I ended up pulling the carburetors off this, throwing them on that thing, you know, to eliminate that problem. And I put these on. I think it ran a little better, definitely ran a little better, but still not 100%. Before I did any of that, I went ahead and did a compression test. Compression test come back good. I believe the last time I rode it, drove it, the center cylinder was running lean, but it's been a little bit, so I'll double check that. You can tell the pipe's kind of white. It's been running lean. We'll go ahead and pop this off here. That looks like it's been... Did I change plugs? I don't remember. Because they look like brand new plugs, but... Okay, you can definitely see that one's darkened. That one's white as well. Kind of wondering if I switched plugs here. I honestly don't remember. I don't know if I ran it after or not. Get these tightened back up. One, two, and three. You can listen to it. Here right there, definitely on the low end, bogging out. Now when it finally did kind of clean itself out, it sounded like it was running on 3 cylinders, but still not running 100% for sure. Let me, now that I just took it, I'll check this center one again, because this is the one I could have swore that was running lean. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad now. Go ahead and pop that one up. A little on the white side. That one's definitely dark. To begin with, when this thing showed up, it was just popping bad. You hit the throttle and it was just pop, 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 pop. It really was not running good at all. Now, it's running better, but it's not running 100%. I mean, clutches are definitely worn. There's a major groove there, major groove in here. Clutches are worn, but I really don't think it's the clutches. I think we have some running issues as well. Let's bring her in there. I'll pull the carbs back apart, double check everything, because you never know. Probably pull the reeds out, probably pull the exhaust off, take a peek at the piston skirts, and we'll go from there. Man, this seat is slippery. I think somebody must have waxed it. Well, let's pop it open and get those carburetors off there anyways. Plug wires. Disconnect our wiring. Throttle cable. Loosen the boots for the airbox. One, two, and three. The only problem with 3 cylinders, you got 3 of everything to worry about. There we go. Pull the carburetors off. I do want to pull the reeds and the reed cages this time because last time I didn't. The owner said he had just pulled them out, put new gaskets in, which you can see the new gaskets, so obviously he had them out of here. But I don't know. It'd be good to see for myself. Pull that out. That. Take a peek at the intake skirts afterwards. Take the boot off. Take that out of there. We'll take a peek in here. What I can see, that skirt looks good. Move on over. That one is all intact. Maybe a little scarring, not bad though. Move over. That one is all good as well. Shove some rags back in there. Doesn't mean the exhaust side isn't broke, but the intake's good. Alright, so I got them off. The rubber looks all intact, not sucking any air or anything that I can see. The reeds. I should have pulled these to begin with because I was told they were good, but I don't know if you can see that on the camera. They're definitely hanging open. See that? And that? Like, these things are... That one is really bad. These things should be shot. See that? All 3 of those on that side are open. This one too, not as bad. I might be able to flip these around, but they really should just be replaced. But that's one. That one, we got some hanging open. They're not horrible. I have to pull them apart, make sure the actual reed cage is good, the plastic isn't eaten away at. These are definitely hanging open badly. That side is actually good, nice and crisp. This side though, yeah, they're bad. I'm wondering, let me pull them apart. They're definitely not great. There's no chips or anything taken out of them, so that's a plus. You know, that's probably what they just looked at, is they saw they weren't broke, but it doesn't matter if they're bent out of shape like that and they're not closing, they're not doing their job properly. Sometimes the rubber material here will be eaten away as well, and then they won't seal great. But these ones look pretty good, actually. Or that side it does anyways. Let's see. Sometimes you can just get away with just putting them in the other way and they'll seal up. I think that's better, but they're still going to hang open. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. Let me put them together like that. It's a lot better. Hanging open a little bit on that side still. See, and this is pretty good here. I'd replace them anyways. Better. Still hanging open, but it's better. I don't know, I'd just replace these things. I mean, those are hanging open bad. Both sides on this one. Didn't notice that. That one's cracked. The metal on that is cracked. I don't like that. Let's see. Just turning these around. Be a much better seal. But after seeing that, I don't want to reuse that. It's cracked all the way through. Yeah, see? We are not reusing that. I'll come out and steal one out of mine first. A little different. These coils are mounted right on the intake on this one. The other one's mounted on the airbox. Different years. This one's newer. But I would think the reeds would be the same, if not. Oh, and yet more parts off my machine. Much better. This side's still open. So you can hear it you can hear the flap hit. I'm going to open up the carburetors just to double check after this, and then we'll give her a whirl. See if it's any better. See that one? It's cracked as well. Oh man, they're all cracked. That one got by me. I didn't see that. It's got a slight crack. And that one's got a crack. These ones are good, actually. The only ones. There's no cracks on these. Boy, something with 3,000 miles on it. I'm surprised it has those cracks. I'm surprised they're already like that. I mean, it's old, but still. Just double checking mine, and yeah, mine look fine. Keep track of them. Well, 2 sets, right? Is what I gotta change out. Okay. Get those back in. And 3. Stuff these in here for now. Let's drain the carburetors out. Good enough. That one off. That one. And that one. So I don't think it's in the carburetors, but I figured I'd pull them apart just to check. I really think the reeds were probably causing some of this issue. Now, if we throw it back together and it does run good, we still got to figure out what's going on with his carburetors, because obviously they didn't run great with that. It runs a lot better with my carburetors versus his carburetors. Probably needs a whole new kit. His carbs. Pilot jet's clean. All right, so I didn't do a super thorough cleaning on these. I just pulled the jets, sprayed a little carb cleaner in there because, like I said, it ran great on the other machine with these carbs. So I could go through them, but there's no sense. Gonna have to pull them back off because I'm not giving them my carburetors. We just want to make sure she does run right, and if it does run right, then we'll start going through his carbs and tell him, you know, I would definitely recommend. It should be better now for sure. It should be better because I tightened up the gaps on the reed pedals just by turning them around. So I would replace the reed pedals. Absolutely. I mean, I think you can probably buy a set. It depends on which ones you go with, but on the cheap side, probably $30 per set. So you're talking $90, but that in there. Bolt everything down, hook everything up, then we'll go give her a little test run. I believe I got everything hooked up that I need to fire this thing up, so that's what we're gonna do. choke on, kill switch, key switch. Fuel's empty in the carburetor, so probably gonna take fuel pulls. Coming to life. We won't know until we bring it outside, really give her a whirl, so let's bring her out. It's idling pretty good right now, actually. Boy, it warmed up quite a bit. It's doing some raining now. Anyways, let's give her a whirl. It does sound like it's idling better and everything. Not sure, actually. Well, seems to idle well. It opened up real good when you get into the high RPMs, but like mid-throttle, she's just bogging. So I pulled the plugs again. I'll show you what I found. This one looks pretty decent, right? This one, pretty decent. This one, pretty decent. This one, definitely lean. So, do we have a crank seal bad on this side? Do we not have enough fuel coming up to this side? Usually if a crank seal goes bad, it's usually on the PTO side, but obviously either one can go bad. Or is it a fuel pump problem? Is it not pushing enough fuel up to this carburetor? Like I said, these are good known carburetors that we're working on another machine. So I would not say it's that carburetor. I would say fuel pump going to the carburetor or the crank seal on this side. That's where I'm at right now. Well, we got her back in here. I'm gonna go ahead and rip that air box off, pull the fuel pump, see if I can see any obstructions in any of the passages. We'll go from there. So if the fuel pump was weak, I mean, it looks like it was freshly rebuilt or new or something, because it's awfully shiny compared to mine anyways. It is the furthest carburetor away from the fuel pump, so if it was weak, would make sense why it's not pushing that one as much as these, but I'm not sure that that is the problem. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's probably not the fuel pump. I'm thinking more towards that crank seal leaking, but I'm gonna have to get a hold of the owner to see if he wants me to actually replace the crank seals in this thing. Or no. I mean, I don't want to, go through all that and he says, yeah, too much of a bill, whatnot, because, like I said, I'm sick of eating labor, so I will ask, and he can decide. Alright, let's start peeling this thing apart. So the little passages for this are inside underneath this. So we'll check. Definitely some gunk, debris inside that fuel pump diaphragm. Yeah, she's just gonna tear apart. So we're gonna pull it apart. I just want to check. Yeah, this was all inside the diaphragm here. This is the carb that was running lean. A lot of junk in there, but I'm not getting. Doesn't seem like any blockage here or anything. But if the fuel pump was, wasn't kicking out enough pressure, this would have been the lean side. All right, we'll buy a rebuild kit for this. I'm gonna toss mine on in the meantime, just to eliminate that problem. Just tighten these up so everything's back together when we get the new rebuild kit. I wanted to confirm whether or not the fuel pump was the issue. I went ahead, stole the fuel pump off my Vmax, threw it on here, took it for a quick ride out in the field and back. Still a little boggy, pulled the plugs. Here's what I found. As you can see, PTO, a little on the rich side. The middle one looks like it's running real good. Mag side, still very lean. So, crank seals it is. It's probably not what the owner wanted to hear because the engine's got to come out. We got to split the bottom case to do it right anyways. I don't just pull crank seals out from the side and put them in. I've seen them pop out before, and when they pop out, it's instantly blow up. It's not like, yeah, you got a little while to drive. It's like it's gonna blow up. It's sucking that much air. So I'd recommend pulling the engine out, pulling the. We don't have to get in the top end if he doesn't want, but we got to pull the crankcase apart, new seals, reseal the crankcase, and then it should be good to go. We still gotta. I'll tell him, fuel pump repair kit because obviously we ripped that gasket, and then carburetor repair kit because obviously my carburetors run way better than his. So his are definitely, they still need some work. So repair kit for those, rebuild for the fuel pump, and then obviously the crank seals. Now whether or not he'll want me to go through the rest of the engine, reseal everything in the engine, I don't know. That's something for the owner to decide. But at least we kind of narrowed it down. At this point, that would be my best guess is crank seals. But obviously you wouldn't want to just replace the mag seal. You want to replace the PTO side as well because this thing is a 99, so what is it, 25 years old. Yeah, too bad, but that's what it comes down to. This machine's in great shape. He just put a new track on it. Looks like it's got brand new skis on it. It doesn't have many miles on it. Sometimes it's worse to have low miles on an old machine because that means it sat around. The rubber seals start to dry up and deteriorate. Sometimes the high mile machines are actually better. Obviously, stuff gets worn out on high mile machines. Stuff dries out on the older low mile machines. Maybe that's why they changed the track. I don't know, because 3,500 miles, it shouldn't have needed a track already. But that's what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, a little shorter. Didn't come to a resolution, but I think we figured out what was going on with the machine. And if you watched the first video, well, maybe you wanted to see an update on it. I don't know if he's going to want to fix this because obviously it's, what, March 5th right now or something like that. It's raining. Spring's coming. By the time we get parts in and get this thing back together, who knows? I don't keep crank seals on hand for these things, and nobody local will, I really doubt. So it's gonna have to be ordered in, and then by then snowmobiling almost be over. It'd be good for next year, but it doesn't mean he wants to spend that kind of money right now. Maybe he wants to wait. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I love snowmobiling. Here it is, March 5th. I haven't done hardly any snowmobiling this year. Probably 99% of the snowmobiling I've done, you guys have watched me on this channel, which hasn't been much, mainly testing the rigs. I got a few sleds over here I wanted to turn, fix up to go trail riding with, but I haven't tackled them yet at this point. You know, some of them I wanted to fix to sell. At this point, they're not gonna be worth much money because towards the end of the season, better off keeping them over the summer, fixing them up in the fall, and then if I want to sell them, I'll get rid of them then. Now, if you're familiar with snowmobiling, trail riding, after rain on the snow comes ice, and it is not good for liquid cooled machines. They start overheating unless you got scratchers. Well, what I got over here is a fan cooled machine buried in the snow right here. Now, I don't think I've showed you guys this machine. This thing's actually fairly rare. I would call it rare. Some of you guys would say, no way this is rare, but I would call it pretty rare because it literally has something that no other sled has. It's pretty unique, but I'll be fixing this one up. It's fan cooled, like I said. And then maybe I can take a little trail ride this spring, not have to worry about overheating. I'll just have to worry about, you know, keeping the Hyfax cooled. But that's another story, and I don't know, that might be the next video. We might have some four-wheelers. I don't know which videos will come out first, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.